made probably the only one for the month, but shh, it's fine, it's fine. If you can hear me, please do let me know in the... I've literally forgotten the word of it. Is it the chat? Yeah, let me know in the chat if you can hear me. So today we are looking at what we're calling 8-box bullet journal weekly spreads. And by this I effectively mean taking your page and dividing it into 8 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So we're gonna have a look at least 2 or 3. I've got up to 5 that I've kind of planned out. Let me take my little sticky note here. So we'll see how many we can get through, because at the moment for me it is 4:35 p.m. and eventually Vogel will make dinner and then I will be able to eat it and stuff, but that's not for a little bit. For now though, we actually need to figure out what supplies we're going to use for these, because I was going to pre-plan it and then I got myself like completely distracted by looking up impossible colors, which is like a new kind of personal obsession, but that's fine. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out a washi tape to start with and then build the kind of materials around that. Yes, that is a good plan. I'm just going to drag that over there so I can at least see what you guys are saying. As per always, if you have a question for me or anything like that, feel free to throw it in the chat and I will attempt to make sure I pay attention and actually answer your question. So, washi tape. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to pull out a couple of options and then we're gonna kind of like vote on them together to see which ones you guys might be keen on. So that is a possibility. We can go for, let's see, that one is a possibility. There we go. And we'll pull out kind of pale blue as well as a possibility, and we'll pull out this one as a possibility. Alrighty, okay, so here are our options. We have number 1, which is this kind of like greenish, bluish color, and this kind of burnt orangey kind of color, which is nice. Some little silvery bits, it's pretty pretty. We've got a purple one with some like tones of red, a little bit of green, a little bit of blue through it. A couple pinks, but that's quite pretty. We have one that's pretty much just blue, but it has some holographic foil on it, which is kind of cute. And then we've got this one, which is very much a wider color palette. So we've got like the blue and the purple and the red and the green and the orange. I guess technically white, but I'm not going to use a white pen. So which one do we think? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I will let you guys vote in the chat. Let me know which one you prefer. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. Alright, we've got 1 for the purple one. 1 for the 3. Alrighty, let's see. So if you're wondering, all of these are from the washi tape shop. So, you know, link in the description if you want to grab yourself one. So let's see, we've got 1, 2 for 2, and then another purple one. Oh gosh, and then 1 for 1. Okay, I didn't count. This is a choice. I should have set up like a proper poll for it. It would have made so much more sense. So a 3 and a 2 and a 2, and then another 2 and then a 3. Alrighty, so it looks like 4 is out. Okay, so 4 is out of the running because we only have 1 vote for 4. As much as I like it, I think it's very cute. Let's see. All pretty. What is the theme? The theme is whatever washi tape we pick. So 3, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, you guys are kind of getting it pretty even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 2. We've got another 1 for 1. So that's 7, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's only seems to be 4 for 3. So we're gonna go with these 2. And by these 2, I mean we're going to go with one of them. I'm not going to do both of them because they are kind of different palettes, eh? Alrighty. Number 1 and number 2. I think for today, we're going to go with this one. Alright, we're going to go with this one. So this is going to be our color palette for today. We're going to build off of that washi tape. And so this is kind of something that I like to do when I think about planning a theme. I typically either decide on a theme first, like an overall idea. So it could be like, oh, I want to do mermaids. I want to do sunsets. I want to do koi fish, whatever. Or I'll kind of build a color palette first and then see what things might actually work with that. So in this case, we're picking a material to start with. So our material being our washi tape. And then we can use the washi tape to build the other colored items that we might be using. So find some pens that kind of fit in with this overall aesthetic. The nice part about this washi tape is that it's actually part of a set. So it comes with some buddies. You can see that they're all kind of in a similar-esque vein to them. So this is the little set that we're kind of working with. So if I don't want to just use this washi tape, I can also use the other ones. But I think primarily I'm going to be sticking with the top one. Now, we have our washi. We need to think about other supplies that we're going to need to use. So one of them is going to be a black pen, mostly because I use black. That is what I use. I'm going to be using probably the M size, because that is my favorite size to do boxes with. If I can find him. My desk is yet again a mess. So, we've got the M size to do beautiful black outlining, like I like to do. And we might use the S size, so I'll grab that out as well. We're going to need some colored pens. So we're thinking maybe some Tombos and probably at least one Staedtler Tri-Plus Fineliner, just so that we have some options. Now, to find good color matches, this is why we have swatches. So jumping into my long-term collections, we can go and have a look at the swatches we have for my Tombos. See what colors might actually suit this. So I'm thinking possibly something like 912 might be suitable for that kind of like more like peachy terracotta kind of color. And then in terms of this kind of green blue, the closest I probably have is 373, but that seems a little bit saturated. Do I have any other pens that have the color but less aggressive? Possibly 204. 204 looks a little bit too blue though. And calligraphs, we don't have the right colors in those. Or maybe the Gold Rush. The Gold Rush might work. Let's go grab that one. Let's see. Where are my calligraphs? Again, my office is a mess. So, Gold Rush, that is that color. That looks about right. There we go. So we can possibly use that one. And flipping through, let's see, do we have any colors in here that might be a good match? Maybe the 41. Not that I've actually numbered these, so I will have to actually count through and find them. It is a little bit more green than this one is, but it's the closest match we have. So we might use that. We might kind of possibly pull out 48 as well. I know, right? I need more pens. I don't have enough pens because I can't find a good color match for this washi tape. There we go. So the nice part about this washi tape, and quite a few of the washi tapes at the washi tape shop, I'm pretty sure, is that they're like made by artists that are in our community, which is pretty exciting. So this design actually came from a creator. Not that I know who it is, but I just think that's kind of exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41 in theory. And I'm just gonna like shove a Tombow in there so the pens don't move. And the other one was 48. So 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. There we go. So these are the two possibilities. Just shove something in there too so that then the pens don't move around. Because the thing about the Crayola box is that they don't actually stay where they're supposed to be. They're not like kind of locked in place. So these are the colors that we're possibly going to play with. And then we'll look and see if we have a Staedtler Tri-Plus Fineliner that might work with this palette as well. Just so that if we want to do any kind of like headings we can. So, possibly the salmon color would probably be like my closest bet to that kind of like orangish kind of thing we've got there. So I might pull that one out to start with. I could also technically do something with these dark browns and pull out like a dark brown color, so that might also help as well. The problem with my Staedtler Dry Plus fineliners is that they are not numbered on the actual pen themselves. So finding these might be a teeny bit challenging, but we will endeavor to do this. You can see they're all just kind of like shoved in my pencil case here. So I kind of end up just looking through them and seeing which cap kind of matches what I'm looking for. That is a brown, but the wrong kind of brown. They're not those ones. Let's see. That guy is more peachy. Then I think he might be like the lighter peach color possibly. Do you have a? Yeah, you're 430, so these ones are labeled on the like barcode sticker. Yeah, that burnt sienna kind of looks nice, eh? Either that or the chocolate brown, because burnt sienna looks a little bit more, well, kind of like picks up on those leaves though, eh? What number is burnt sienna? 73. Did I grab 73? 73 is this one, so we'll put this one to the side as well. And then that's 48, so that's not what we want. Alright. Because that turquoise colour is too bright for what we're really working with, I think. It's a little bit too saturated. And then got the darker brown here. Is that the chocolate or is that the... It's the one that's not numbered, so I assume it must be the chocolate. And then we've got the other one there. I think that probably works. We can probably go with those ones. I was going to try and see if I could find that more like salmon color, but I feel like I might have pulled the salmon out and put it somewhere and not put it back. That does sound like something I do. We'll chuck that one out to the side just in case, and we'll pull... Yeah, okay, just in case, we'll pull that one out and have a look at it. Because we're going to swatch some of these before we actually you know, finalize our choices regarding pens. Alrighty, looks cute. So, putting my pencil case back in a secure location, and then moving this guy off to the side. Now, we will need a piece of paper to put some of these colors on, just so that we can actually see what they look like. So the Gold Rush one, it was only one end in particular that I was keen on, and I think it might be the small one. Yeah, because I think that that color kind of matches our washi tape a little bit better. I'll grab some of the washi tape off as well and put that on our paper to kind of build our little mood board kind of thing that we've got going here. There we go. Here, put that to the side, and we'll pull off the little tapey bit here, which I probably could have done before I removed the tape from the roll, which would have made it a little bit easier. There we go. There we go. Put that on there. Looks cute. Alright, so the best part about these ones is that, like, the reason that it comes with this little piece of tape is because it's got a paper backing, which is nice because then the foil doesn't like get pulled off when the tape sticks to itself. The less ideal part is actually having to get it off the paper backing, which is a little bit more of a struggle, a little bit more challenging than it otherwise could be. Which of course, I'm having all the struggles with this today. Usually once I start using the tape, I leave a little bit of the backing paper exposed, so that then I can just kind of pull things off that way. It makes it a little bit easier. But I haven't done that yet, because this is the first time we're using this tape. So close, but yet so far. 7 hours later. There we go. So this is our little... So I think that this kind of colour matches a little bit better. Like, it's not a perfect match, but it's closer. And then we've got this one, which I think works pretty well, so we will keep him. Got this brown, which is not a perfect match, but it kind of ties in with like those little darker leaves, not the dark leaves, but the kind of more browny kind of leaves. So it can stay for now. We'll see if we use it. We've got one green, which is a better match than I thought it was going to be, if I'm honest. And this one, which is a bit too saturated, methinks. So this one is probably going away, but the other one can stay because it's a little bit more subdued, so that will actually work with what we're trying to do here. Cool, was that all the materials? Black just stays because I like black, and then we've got our green and our gold rush. Excellent. Looking cute. So that is the palette we are working with. Like we said though, we're looking at 8-box weekly journal spread things here. We're not looking at how to build a color palette from a washi tape. So the first one we're going with here is going to be fairly straightforward, fairly simple. It's just effectively putting the boxes down and then decorating those boxes. So for my boxes in the Archer and Olive, we're going with 6 centimeters across with a 1 centimeter gap, and then 6 centimeters across again. And then for the vertical, we're going 9 centimeters down, then a centimeter gap, and 9 centimeters down again. And I will be using a ruler because I like my ruler, but I'll only be using it if I can find it because again, my desk is a mess. Let's see. And we'll put on our background jams because it's just makes for a nice time. There we go. If the music is too loud or too distracting, please do let me know, and I will turn it down for us. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see. I also want to make sure that we don't get like, oh, no, I turned the wrong thing on. Oh god. Okay, I'm better. I'm better again. Whew. Okay. Wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna have like notifications during, because the notification will probably come through super, super loud, but then I pressed the wrong button. So hopefully everything is okay again. Of course, I like to use the M size for my box outlining because I like bolder lines. I like them to be quite thick, but you do you. And technically speaking, you don't actually have to put outlines on your boxes at all for it to be what I would consider an 8-box weekly. Really, when I think 8-box weekly, I just think of the idea of dividing your page in this way. So 4 and 4. And we're gonna look at a couple of designs, so we'll get to see some differences. I'm glad you like the background music. Yeah, I quite enjoy this artist. I think that he makes very nice tracks, and so he's got like a fairly decent lineup of different tracks that he has as well. So I've kind of picked out all the ones that I like and used them in essentially all of my videos. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. So the journal we're working in today is not my personal journal. This is what I call my R&D bujo, like research and development kind of a thing. So I'll use it for things like mocking up layouts that I'm trying out, or I'll use it for like, you know, these kind of videos where I'm putting together a whole bunch of ideas. And in making this video, we're actually pretty much at the end of this journal. Like, it only has 5 spreads left, and the kind of intention with this video was to do 5 different layout ideas. We will see if that happens, because obviously, if Vogel makes my dinner, I'm gonna go eat my dinner. But, I'd be curious, do you guys want to see a flip through of this journal? I mean, obviously you'll have seen pretty much, I mean, I say it obviously. There is a likelihood that you may have seen all of the different spreads and the ideas that I have in this journal. But if you're curious, it might be fun to go and have a little flip through of it. Look, a trip down memory lane kind of a thing. There we go. So, in terms of 8-box weeklies that I use, I will default myself to an 8-box weekly when I am feeling very demotivated to try something like what I would call interesting. Not to say that 8-box weeklies can't be interesting, because like we're gonna look at in this video, you can do a fair bit of other stuff with them outside of just, you know, boxes and labels and that kind of thing. But Vogel Vogel's layouts that he does for his weeklies. I say he does. Vogel's layouts that I do for him. They are 8-box weeklies. So those 8 boxes, and then some kind of little label that says, hey, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, and then he uses the last one for a note space. We have looked at previously the idea of like what other things you can put into a weekly spread, so other elements that you might want to include, whether that be trackers or decoration or like an events list or other little logs and things like that. He just uses his for notes, but there are a world of possibilities with the 8th box. Technically speaking, you don't even have to keep this to be just a weekly as well. You could always just have it be 8 days. So rather than kind of assigning yourself to 1 week per spread, it's 1 week and a day. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a calendar week, because then you just kind of follow through with, you know, let's say Monday through Sunday, and then Monday, and then on the next week you just start on Tuesday. That kind of stuff. So, we have our boxes in. Our boxes are present. Now it's time to think about decorating our boxes. So this is where our washi tape comes in, and kind of why we decided on picking a washi tape. And I think what I want to do for our decoration this time is do kind of like a bottom corner for each of them. The only problem with this washi tape in particular is that if I do a bottom corner on each of them, I want them to have the same pattern at the bottom each time. So we'd end up kind of having to cut off 8 pieces and then just using half of them. So what I might do is a bottom and a top corner, just so that then I don't feel like I'm being wasteful. We are going to need some scissors. Here are some scissors that I have. Alrighty, so we're gonna need one that's like about yay long, and you can see that on these washi tapes that have like a pattern on them, or like a repeating picture, you can see this line here. That's just where the pattern kind of starts again. So I'm going to cut along that line for our first one. Boink. And I'm going to try and make them all roughly the same size, just so our spread looks fairly even. Fairly even as I can kind of make it. Two, and then 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Sweet. So we'll put our washi tape to the side, put his little sticker back on to keep him wrapped up nice and safe like. Cute. So these little pieces here are the ones that we're gonna fit into the corners, and what I kind of like to do in fitting them to the corners is ripping along a diagonal, so it kind of looks like an artistic little corner there. Today, am I going to rip it? No. Like, I might just cut the corner a little bit off so that then I can make my life a little bit easier in my ripping endeavors. So we just take the washi tape and we do a little rip. I like that it kind of makes it look a little bit intentionally messy, like not perfect kind of a thing. There we go. And then we can kind of stick those in the corners of our little boxes to make it just look a little bit decorative, a little bit special. Yeah, what we could do is alternating corners, so like these 2 corners and then those 2 and then those 2 and then those 2. I'm just going to keep them all the same today to make it a little easier. Do you find the tape holding up better? Do you find the tape to hold up better to use it with the paper backing? I mean, I'm getting myself distracted. Yes, in a way, like, because the tapes that I have in particular have foiling on them. The foiling holds up a lot better with having the paper backing, because then you don't have the adhesive sit on top of the, you know, the foiled stuff. Which means that then the adhesive doesn't pull the foil off the washi tape, which would be a bit of a bummer because these are really pretty tapes. I do very much like these tapes. I've talked about them before. I think it was just because like how surprised, honestly, I was at how good these tapes are. The ones that are actually from the washi tape shop brand, that is. Because sometimes you get tapes, washi tapes in particular, they're a little cheaper, the adhesive is a little nasty, or the tapes themselves feel quite plasticky, or they don't stick well, or like there's just a myriad of issues that could arise from your washi tapes. But these ones, they're really lovely and thin, like they get that really nice kind of ripped effect, so it feels a lot more like actual paper tape. They stick well when you put them down. I have a lot of good things to say about these tapes. Effectively. There we go. Yeah. I've kind of gotten to this stage of doing these really thin lines at the top because I'm not really ripping my tape quite on a diagonal. I'm kind of going a little bit shallow with my rip. I need to be a little bit more intentionally upwards to get them to come into the corner a bit more. A bit sooner rather than that little tiny tail that I've done on a couple of them. There we go. So hopefully you can kind of see how this little weekly is coming along. So obviously we're using the same tape over and over, but like we saw at the start, there are multiple different ones that have this color palette, this color palette. So you could use a variety of different ones. You could also only put them on certain days, like you don't have to put them on every single one to give it another type of a different aesthetic. You can decorate these boxes in different ways with like stickers or doodles or whatever else, or just go in, like keep it simple, just use some boxes, use some basic headers and just keep it chill. Like all things are good. This is your weekly. We want it to suit what you want to do. I find that it is a very versatile style of weekly. So now as we've got all of our little pieces done, we can actually start peeling and sticking. Haha, the part that will take Jess the longest. Let's see, there we go. Got our paper backing off. I'm going to turn the journal just to make it a little easier for myself to stick these down. And in particular stick them down straight and in the corner, because we want to make sure that they are actually where they're supposed to be, not floundering out in the middle of nowhere. There we go. Oh, super cute. What you could also do, if you don't want it to look too kind of symmetrical, is when we ripped them here together, I put each individual piece that got ripped onto the same box. I could go and like switch all of these top pieces around so you don't have that kind of perfect mirroring. That's another thing that you could do if you want to make it look a little bit more random. Do do do. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. Taking off the backing. Got the shaky hands. I need to stick the tape down straight. I'm having the troubles. Fairly good, fairly good. That's fine. Because again, this is not an actual weekly that I'm going to use. This is my R&D bullet journal, so it doesn't need to be perfect. But we would still like it to look nice for you guys. There we go. The nice part about the ripped tape rather than the cut tape as well is that when you rip it, sometimes you have little parts of exposed paper, which makes getting the backing off those ones a fair bit easier. So like something that I can actually kind of slip my nail under to get the tape off the backing paper. There we go. cute. I actually super love this pack of washi tape. I think that the design is really gorgeous. Even though I don't have, you know, sufficient pens to actually perfectly color match stuff, it is very pretty. Let's see. I would be curious, like, how many of you guys actually use washi tape in your journal? Because I don't honestly use super lots of it in my journal. Not in my, like, everyday journal at least. In my content planner, the one that I've made myself, in that one I use it more. Ah, me washi tape. We need to make sure it's straight, but we also don't want to be a psychopath. Come on, Jess. But I've been using it more in my my content planner, like I said, just to add some little decorative element so it doesn't look so I don't know, flat, boring. Put you guys back where you're supposed to be. Thank you so much. Before I get over to that page, I'm gonna finish the page that's a little closer to me. Your first washi will be in the sub box. Oh, that's exciting. I like that in this sub box, the March one that's just come out. If you have no idea what we're talking about the Archer and Olive sub box, I assume. Well, I am at least. So the Archer and Olive sub box, the washi tape that's coming in that, you've got a variety of sizes, which I think is really helpful. One of the things that I really like about this washi tape, for instance, is that it is wider, so you can do these little decorative corners and actually have like a good chunk of decoration rather than just like a tiny smidgen, which is nice. Yeah, kinda use it. Yeah, washi tape in your everyday journal. Yeah, fake washi tape. Pieces of paper glued down to look like washi tape. So sneaky. There we go. Ooh, that one's not a very straight cut, Jess. Whose choice was that? Spoilers, it was my choice. It was a bad choice, but we made it. There we go. Nope, that is so incredibly crooked. We do try to put things down straight. We don't necessarily succeed every time, but we try. It's fine. Skin doesn't need to be perfect, but we still want it to look kind of nice. There we go. Beautiful. So of course, if you didn't want to use washi tape for this, like we said, you could use stickers. You could also just use regular scraps of paper. So whether that be like, you know, dot grid paper, a variety of colors, or if you wanted to use just like regular scrapbooking paper, or if you have any other spare paper, what people sometimes do is they print their own scrapbooking paper. So you can find like free scrapbooking paper designs on the internet. You just Google search free scrapbooking paper, and you can print them off and rip those up and stick them in, which is kind of nice. The nice part about regular, you know, cartridge paper or like printer paper is that it's still relatively thin, so it doesn't add too much bulk to your journal if you're not doing it super often. That is not perfect, but it is still close enough. Oh yeah, cutouts for magazines. That would totally work too. Just like nice little ways to add some decorative elements to your pages without having to doodle. Like there's more ways to decorate than just drawing. Which always makes me sad when people are like, oh, I can't make my bullet journal look pretty because I'm not artistic. I'm like, get out with that negativity. Like, I do not believe you. We don't just have to be drawing or like painting or whatever to add some flair to our pages. And I think that people possibly just underestimate how much practice things take. Like, sure, some people are naturally talented, like, don't get me wrong, natural talent is a thing that exists. But for a lot of us, the only reason that we are half okay is because we've done it for a while and done it a lot of times in that while. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, stamps and stickers, but like, I think that that's still like a form of art, you know? For instance, I am not good at layering paper and collaging and making a scrapbook aesthetic. It's not one of my strong points, but I do think it's a type of artistry. Like, I do think that there is artistic talent in being able to like put the pieces of paper together in such a way that doesn't just look like a paper dump. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. I think that we kind of almost set artistry aside as being a particular type of thing when it is more than just the one type of kind of artistic expression. I feel like I'm being very rambly, but hopefully you guys kind of get what I mean. I'm not trying to, you know, sound rude about it or anything. I'm just, you know, this is just what I think. Yeah. There we go. Let's see. This one has ripped in a very interesting way. Let's see if we can get him off the paper. There we go. Oh, look at this. Isn't it so super cute? Like, it's like feels very whimsical and like, you know. So pretty. And I kind of like how the parts in the middle kind of make that little shape as well. Because that would be another thing you could do. Like, you could do top down kind of a thing. So then it's like the green parts are all in the middle. Again, assuming that you've got a washi tape like this that has that color gradient going across the tape like that. Yeah. Hi, Carolyn. Glad you could make it. Glad you could be here with us. Okay. Cute. So, now as our decoration is almost done, we're going to keep this one fairly simple. We're just going to add in some headers after this. Once I stop getting myself distracted and just take the backing off this piece of tape. No, do you guys actually want to see me struggle, or like, because I keep pulling it away from the camera instinctively to take it off, but there we go. The struggle is real. I also feel like people who know how to stamp and can do it effectively are wizards, because I swear anytime I try to do stamping, it turns out looking like a hot mess. Like, it's just super inconsistent. And again, I know it's a practice thing, and I just haven't given myself the opportunity to do that practice, but trying to find the best place to take the tape off this part. You can just see me struggling. Let's see. A bunch of the minimalist community aren't inclined to YouTube. Yeah. I mean, we do have some though. We do have some more minimalist bullet journalists who are on YouTube. Let's see if we can do it from this corner. Again with the struggling. I'm just gonna end up munting the side of this tape. Yes. Yes, wizardry. Haha. And I think you also find that not everybody, but a good number of bullet journalists on YouTube might kind of like not flip-flop, but they'll like dabble with different styles in their journals, which is kind of nice. I like changing things up. I like trying new things. All right, cute. So we have the artistic pieces on our spread here. So our little washi tape corners, they look pretty cute. Now we're going to go in with actually putting in a header of some description. I think I might keep the header fairly simple. Just do kind of like some monoline writing, and by that I mean like, you know, cursive, that's the one. Drink break, tink. And we'll just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday notes. To keep it fairly consistent, let's see, 3 lines down, 4 lines down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I think that 4 lines down is probably going to be the safest bet to actually fit the header in. So we'll start up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll just write it here. Monday. And to add some variation, we'll just alternate colors as well. Tuesday. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wednesday. 2, 3, 4. Thursday. So Thursday's one is interesting because the tape kind of comes very shallow along here. So I don't know whether to start. I'm going to start it here. We still want enough space to actually write the full thing in. Thursday. Now Friday is going to be the brown because then it alternates with the peach. 2, 3, 4. Friday. Saturday, Sunday, and like we said, this next one is just going to be for notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that looks pretty cute. I'm not too sad about that. I'm not sad at all about that, actually. That was a bit of a misrepresentation of my feelings. So we can see that we have our 8 boxes, because that's kind of the point of the video, 8 box weekly, and we've got the decorative elements in the corners, but really, if you strip it back, it's 8 boxes on a page. Like, that's all it is. 8 boxes on the page with some washi tape kind of a thing. So we could go and write in our tasks and events and stuff and all that kind of thing. So this is the first idea, the first possibility for the 8 box weekly. But like I said, there's like lots of different things you could do with this. You don't have to have this as a note space, you don't even have to put in the borders, like any of that. So if we flip over, and we're gonna do something else, something different, okay? And on this one, we're still gonna have the 8 boxes, but rather than having it so that the boxes are actually all completely ruled in, we are going to put in just like headers and maybe a bottom bar kind of a thing. So for the bottom bar, we're gonna use the M size again. Yeah, nah. Let's use the brown for like literally no reason other than the fact that it's here. So we'll put the brown one in, and the header bars will probably end up using the Crayola as like a background color or something, but we'll put these ones in first. So that's the 9 centimeter mark, which means it's gonna go along here, and it's gonna be 6 and then break and then 6. 6 and then break and then 6. Like a, and then the same at the bottom here. 6 and then break and then 6. And then the same on the bottom, which is going to be hard to position so you can actually see, but and then break and then 6, and again along here 6 break 6. Go, just clean off my pen before we continue because it's got a little bit of stuff on it. There we go. All right, not too bad. So we've got our bottom kind of borders, so you can kind of see where our 8 boxes would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Along the top, we're going to have a header of some description. I might put the washi tape in as kind of like a decorative element there, and then the rest of our sections are going to be the headers. What color do we want for the headers? Okay, so if we grab this guy out, I think that, like I said before, we're going to use the Crayola, and we're just going to put down like a strip of color and then right over the top of that. And we can probably use that for something as well. Let's see. Maybe we could use the, which one is it? The Gold Rush, this one, yep. To do like a little kind of circle of color or something like that. And then that circle could be where you'd put like the number for the day. So we're gonna get out my circle stencil just so that we're making it actually look like a circle and not like an amorphous blob because I'm not good at freehanding circles. And we're gonna chuck those on. And then for the rest of them, we're gonna just do a strip of color. So the strip of color is gonna be here because we're gonna put in like a little habit tracker. That will look cute. So this box will effectively be like header, habit tracker, and then the rest of the boxes would be for the days of the week, is the general idea we're working with. Soup. How big do I want this thing to be? Probably just a centimeter. Yeah, so a centimeter. I'm gonna flip it upside down so that it sits a bit more flush to the page. There we go. And we'll get the cap off if we can. Oh, it's tight. There we go. Oh, good night. Thank you for being here while you could be. It was a pleasure to see you. Go. Coloring, coloring, coloring. Probably just do the circle and then color it in after the fact. That might make it a little easier. Circle, then this guy needs to sit here. Circle, and a circle, and a circle, and a circle, and a circle. Let's see. That goes up here. 1 centimeter. There. So you can tell I didn't really pencil this one out very much before I got started, so I get myself a little bit lost sometimes, but that's okay. We can just color that one in to make our beautiful little circle shapes. And in theory, this is either where like the initial of the day could be written, or the number of the day, or if you wanted, you put in some kind of little icon or something that represents the day as a whole. Maybe it's like something for a mood tracker. You can just draw like a smiley or an unsmiley face. Really whatever you want to use it for. And if you wanted to do this one a little quicker, you could just, you know, freehand the circles, or make them more blob shape, or make them boxes, or whatever. It's all good. Anything goes. Where did I get my circle stencil from? So this is a Stettler circle combo metric circle template. It should in theory be linked in the description box. I personally got mine from Gordon Harris in Wellington, but you can get them off like Amazon and stuff like that too. Cute. So with our washi tape, problem. The washi tape itself is how big? 2.5 centimeters tall. I've only left myself 3 spaces here. I say it's a problem, but realistically it's not. I could just make it bigger. We'll just put in a little washi tape strip up here. That'd be kind of cute. Problem. Not even one. Let's see, let's just make sure that we're actually gonna make it big enough. It needs to be yay wide kind of a thing. DK. Is that Denmark? I honestly do not know. District of Korea? I honestly don't know. I'm just spitballing here. There you go. Put a little fold line in so I knew how much washi tape I needed. Denmark, excellent. I was right the first time and then I overthought about it. I was like, Donkey Kong? No, not Donkey Kong. Alrighty, rub this part out before we put in our washi tape to make sure that there's no pencil lines underneath the washi tape, because that would just be sad. Let's see. You know, we should just rename this video to like Jess and the Eternal Struggle of trying to get the backing off the washi tape. It doesn't have quite as nice a ring to it to 8-box weeklies, but you know, it's more accurate. Try and line this up in a way that doesn't suck. There's just a little bit of decoration for the top corner there, looking pretty cute. Now it is time to go and put in those colored strips, and I'm going to freehand this rather than do the washi tape trick, just because, again, I'm not going to use this. This is just for, you know, idea generation. Yeah, so, oh, I'm getting this pencil line too, so I've got my pen in my mouth, so I can't really understand what I say very easily. Hopefully it translates well. There we go. Did put those in the right place, didn't I? Yeah, okay, we're good. So, when it comes to putting down a color line, and I'm saying all of this and now I'm gonna stuff it up, but when it comes down to putting a color line onto your page that is straight, the idea is not to twist your wrist, yeah? The idea is to hold your arm kind of steady and then just pull your hand towards yourself, yeah? If you do this, you are more likely to make a curved line. If you do this, you are more likely to make a straight line. She says more likely because when I do this, I will probably stuff this up. Let's go from here. There we go. Ah, it's not too bad. A little bit of spooge on the end. It's all good. So if we can put this in a way that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Now, for the headers, I am putting this highlighting line in the middle of like a centimeter's worth of space, in the idea that you'd then write over the top of this in a way that kind of goes above and below the color line, but you could just stick this on one line and then just write in that line. When it comes to doing this guy though, I think I will try and keep him in one line because he is going to be, nah, YOLO, live your best life. There we go, done. I thought about it and then I'm like, nah. Now, writing in some headers. We're just going to do another simple kind of monoline thing here, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then habits. Okay, habits looks cute. And then if I were to use this, that would be Monday. So it'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, Friday, jumping all over the place because that's kind of a bit of a better representation of how I actually do things in my journal. I don't really usually take a systematic approach because I get easily distracted by being like, ooh, I need to do that, and then just does it instead of finishing the task that she was on. Monday, Tuesday, when I make my videos, I do try to be a little bit more systematic with it, so that then you can kind of see the way that like one supply would get used in full, but all good. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Sunday. There we go. Yeah, I find that making straight lines in general is not my forte. As soon as I add in things like not being at a desk and stuff like that, whew, choices. Let's see, we're gonna put in some little dots for where the habits would go, so people could list their habits out along here and they'd be super cute. There we go. But hopefully, again, you can kind of see what we're talking about, that idea of the 8-box weekly. So we have our 8 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this one here, our 8th box, has the habit tracker and a small little panel for decoration. Cool. So just another possibility for our 8-box weekly, in particular one where you don't actually have to rule out the boxes, right? The boxes don't actually have to be present in full, in their entirety, for it to be an 8-box weekly. So, if we flip ourselves over, we're going to do another type of 8-box weekly. This one, instead of having the kind of like monoline thing going, we're going to do some like decorative initials for each of the days of the week. And they're going to go in this space here, let's see. And then we might see like the kind of stuff that we could do with the boxes themselves. So previously we just looked at the idea of the boxes being kind of open, and you can, you know, put in your tasks and events and stuff like this, but you can actually section the boxes out to record other specific information in particular parts of the box. So we're going to look at that as well. First things first, I'm the realist. Second thing, I need to find my pencil, because I'm going to do some penciling here, just for the sake of, you know, not completely ruining my day. Do I post these anywhere? Need a struggle bus hoodie. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll write it on my list. Do I post these anywhere? Technically, I post on Instagram. I'm just very bad at it. But I could endeavor to post these ones in a post that says like 8-box weekly ideas or something like that, if that would be helpful. I want to put in some pencil lines here so I kind of know what I'm doing with this little individual thingamabob I'm trying to make. I know what the thingamabob's called. She lied. Initial? I'm trying to kind of make these evenly spaced, or as evenly spaced as I can. So for these little individually bits, I'm gonna use the, which one? I am gonna use this guy. Okay, let's do this one first. So we're just gonna place the ink down in a couple of various places. Kind of like that. Just kind of like laying it down, making a little split kind of shape in varied places. Go. Split. And then one up here for good measure, split. Cool. These are kind of acting to mimic little leaf kind of shapes, because they're small, so they still kind of look like leaves even if they aren't perfect, which is nice. So we're effectively making little wreaths here, which is why we start with that kind of circular shape to start with, that circular outline, and then we build off that with our colors, which in this case we're using this little, what was it called? Gold Rush, which is, I find an interesting color because I don't really consider this to be gold at all, but that's fine. I don't name the colors. And this kind of technique works particularly well if you're using things like Tombos or other brush tip markers, I find. Them easier to work with. There we go. And then once we've got our little foliage kind of bits in, like these little guys here, which you can see that I'm kind of trying to position them all in a similar direction so that they all kind of sit facing the same way. Once we've done that, we will go and put in some Stettler lines with the brown to represent the kind of like twiggy bits of our little reefy kind of guy. Reefy. Cute. I wonder if we can use the Crayola for this. We might try. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work, we'll just like say YOLO and do it anyway. Because I think it's nice to have some color variation in your little leafy bits. There you go. Of course, when you're doing this, try not to press too hard with your pen because you don't want to like munt it or anything, but
Hi YouTube!
I love it. Whispers to see if I'm doing a live and then yells to say hi to everybody. Like, what if I said no? Would you then just talk about random shit, or like, what would happen? There we go. And you'll know I'm trying not to be too precise about the positioning of these things. Like, I don't want them to look too uniform. I want them to look a little bit random. Random is not something that I'm super good at, but I'm getting there. I'm trying. Yeah, see, everybody say hi to Bogle. Hi, Bogle. Let's see. Okay, so we've got some green here, and I might just put in some green little dot kind of things, rather than try and do like a leaf shape. The people said hello, Bogle.
Hi people! I'm probably going to do my sewing soon and then I will start on the soup.
Cool.
I'm just checking what needs to be done on the soup before I get out of the way.
I sincerely hope that doing these little dots isn't bleeding through to the other side. That would be mighty unfortunate. Ah, look at you. Good job, Archer and Olive. Some little dots. Just making it cute. The dots are way faster, which is nice. Just to add some little visually interesting bits. There we go. Kind of cute. Vogel is going to be making wonton soup for dinner. This is our second attempt at wonton soup. The first attempt was like good, but we figured some improvements could be made. For one, not trying to burn down my kitchen, but just in terms of like the actual soup flavor itself, we wanted to see what we could do about making that a little bit more, I don't know, of the flavor profile that we would like. Gotta bounce. Oh, well, thank you for being here while you could be, Evelyn. It was a pleasure to have you here with us. Pleasure to have everybody here with us. And if you're enjoying being here with us, you should like hit the like button or something. But only if you want to, because I'm not your mother and I don't tell you what to do. So, in terms of our little wreathy bits here, are you guys close enough? Do you guys want me to move you a little closer? I'm gonna move you a little closer. I apologize in advance when this makes that awful noise, but we need to do it so that we can actually move you a little closer. There we go. That, in theory, should be okay. Just so you can kind of hopefully see a little bit clearer what it is we're actually doing. So, in terms of our little leafy, wreathy bits here, you can see we've got the kind of foliage pieces on, and now we just need to go and put some darker lines in between them, which you can draw like little sticks and twigs and stuff. I'm probably just going to be a little bit lazy about mine, just do some like small lines and kind of a thing. Not going to connect the little green dots, they're just going to kind of float, but that's okay. I think that looks pretty cute. And it's alright if it's not perfect, because it's supposed to be plant matter, and plant matter is not perfect, because it is plant matter. There we go. Something fell down. There we go. Cute little wreathy bits. This is just another way that you can take your simple 8-box weekly and turn it into something that's just a little bit more special. Not to say there's anything wrong with keeping it just at 8 boxes with a, like, you know, basic initial for each of the days of the week. That is 100% fine if that is what you want in your journal. It's your journal. I want you to use it. That one looks a little sparse, but that's fine. That's okay. Cute. So another way that you can make wreaths, rather than doing this, is doing like a kind of spiral of the twig outline first, and then put the kind of leaf stuff, or the leafy bits, over the top of that. I just decided to start with the leafy bits. Foliage pieces. There you go. Cute. I find that if you start with the twig though, then everything looks like it's kind of behind the twigs. If you try and do any layering, this way you can kind of stop where the twig is and make it look like there's stuff in front of the twigs. There we go. Cute. So, we have the leaves in. In terms of the actual initials themselves, I am just going to use a simple capital letter font just to make it a little easier on myself. So I'll just put in an M. Okay. M for Monday, T for Tuesday, W for Wednesday, T for Thursday, U for Friday, and then S and S. I said I was going to do basic capitals. Technically it's a basic capital, it's just got the little kind of like serifs on the end, so all good. You guys, stop being mean to me and my leafy bits. Like, in for notes. There we go. Cute. So, in terms of boxes, we're going to go back to actually ruling the boxes in here, and then we're going to explore what we could do outside of just having a box that's just, you know, a box. What we could also put in the box, additional to the outline. Once we erase our pencil lines though, because we don't want to leave the spread in a mess. That would be most unfortunate. Cute. let's see, I don't want to take my boxes the full way up though. I want my little wreaths to kind of sit as if they are on top of the box. So rather than doing the full 9 centimeters from the top, we're gonna drop it down 1 centimeter and only bring it down by 8. So like that. So it still goes down the full 9 centimeters. It's just the first centimeter isn't actually being used. If that makes sense, which it hopefully does. So in theory, again, big theories, our boxes should all get the same amount of space. So they should be 8 centimeters for both of them. Though I might have stuffed that up, but it's whatever. Oh no, no, I'm good, I'm good. I am a wizard. I say that a lot, and I don't think Vogel appreciates how often I say it. I'll be like, I'll like do something and then be like, hey, you know how I did that? You know how that happened? And he's like, what? I'm like, it's because I'm a wizard. Every single time, I'm pretty sure he like rolls his eyes at me. Yeah, I agree with you though, in terms of, you know, feeling like your spreads look basic because it's just handwriting. I find that if I don't do something with my headers, like something even like a little bit special, like even just doing these little serifs, that will make me feel better about a layout rather than just doing a simple all caps. This is a recent discovery on my part, but it is one that has been helpful in terms of what I do and don't like about my bullet journal. And it's good to reflect on these things to make sure you're actually doing things that, you know, make you happy. Because we want you to be happy. We want you to be happy with your journal and use your journal and stuff. I feel like I was going to use this notes section for something else and I've instantly forgotten what it was going to be. Yeah, I think I did. That's fine. Because before starting this video, I wrote myself out some ideas so that then I could just get on and draw with you all. Excellent. Oh, no, I need that one. I'm going to do this one upside down because it's going to be a little bit easier than trying to hang my ruler off the edge of the page and just like hope and pray. Hope and pray that I don't slip, which is very much a low trust scenario if we are honest. So when it comes to doing the horizontal lines here, the ones at the bottom of each box will just be the whole way across. The ones that are at the top are going to stop before they hit the wreath. So then the wreath kind of looks like it's sitting on top of the box, and we've got that little separation, which just makes it look a little bit special. So I'm going kind of like, what, 3.5 boxes across. Because each of my little circular pieces are approximately 2 centimeters in diameter, or like 2 centimeters across. Yeah. Cute! Oh, look at that! It's coming along so well! Let's keep it on, keep it on. If you were looking for some non-script lettering ideas, I do have a couple of videos on different non-script lettering ideas. So ideas that aren't just like calligraphy based or like joined lettering based. And I find that having a good arsenal of those can be a good way to make a relatively plain spread look just a little bit more special. I think we've got some of those ideas in this book actually. Where are they? They're like, because again, no spoilers for the flip through because you guys have already seen all of these things before. Somewhere in here. We'll go have a look for it later, because now I'm curious. Because I think there's one font in particular, one lettering style that would have worked quite well for this, this page in particular. Like, to make it even more specialer than it already was. There we go. So, it gets rid of some pencil lines, because we put some guidelines in here that were not in the right place. And again, just because I'm curious, I really want to find them. Let's see, so it wasn't that one, and it wasn't any of those, or that one, and it's not during those ones, because those are weeklies. Huzzah! So like, every so often I do these kind of videos where I have a bunch of different ideas for, you know, styles of lettering that are not cursive related, because I don't know, I just get a bit bored of cursive. So this was the font in particular that I used for like my March setup last year, which was a kind of nautical themed one, and then I thought this little leafy one would have kind of been cute with our wreath. This is the one that I use in my long-term collections journal like all the time, and this one I am holding out on using, but I want to use it because I think it looks really cool. Anywho, back to this guy. So, in terms of our third, apologies, oh my gosh, our third 8-box weekly, you can see we do just have the boxes here at the moment, but you can do more with them. You can break these boxes down to include other stuff. So for instance, what I do with Vogel's weeklies would be like separating the bottom section of each of the days of the week boxes for his meal plan, for instance. Or you could put in a little space for the weather, or you could put in a space for a mood tracker, or whatever. You get to Marin and hit me up, we'll do a lunch. Inaugural meeting of the JashiiCorrin Bay Area chapter. That's cute. I love that a lot. Tink, drink break. Every so often when I go to drink my Coke, I manage to move my mouth in a particular way. I don't even know how. And it makes all of it froth up really badly. Not pleasant. So we're gonna section off the bottom portion of these boxes just to illustrate how you could use it for something else. So we're gonna take the bottom centimeter of each of these boxes and just separate it off using our kind of peachy toned color. So like we said, the way that Vogel uses his one is as his meal planner, or, you know, a place to record his dinners, like what our dinner plans for the week are, because that is the extent of the meal planning we really do, to be completely honest. And then what he will do is he'll just at the start of the week, once we make our meal plan, go and fill in what's for dinner. What you could do though is take those sections and cut them in half, cut them into thirds, kind of a thing, if you wanted to record different information. So let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So for example, with these 3 boxes here, you might want to use one for the weather, one for a little tracker of some description, because there are 8 little boxes in each of the sections, so you could do like a little water tracker or number of sleep hours tracker or something, and then you could use the last one for mood. Or if you're thinking about like the mood train of thought, you could do your morning mood, your like afternoon mood, and then your end of the day mood. You could do a little productivity kind of tracker, so like a color scale about how productive you've been. If you track blood pressure or medications or anything like that, you could put them in there. You could use it for like the word of the day or whatever, like a lot of possibilities in the ways that you could actually use this space. I am using a A5. Yes, this is an A5 journal. So this is our third idea. Third idea, done. Let's have a look at another one. Now, So far we've kind of been playing with the idea of your 8-box weeklies being actual boxes, yeah? Or even if not boxes, like, you know, box-esque shapes with a pencil line. Get out. But another way that you can divide your page is, instead of drawing boxes, is just drawing like dividing lines. So that's what we're going to do on the next page. We're going to divide our page up using dividing lines. Let's see. What color? Another thing to note, if you want to add variation into your journal, is that you can use different styles of headers. So I do have a separate video with, what is this, 72 different header styles. That is one way that we can make it a little bit special. And you can also use different types of dividers, all right? So in setting up the dividers on the page that we're about to do, you could use any of these or anything else, effectively. So far we've pretty much just been using number 2, so a nice thick straight line. But we could use colored lines, we could do like a dashed line, or some kind of like special zigzaggy triangle thing. Lots of different ideas. Again, we have this as a separate video as well. So for this one, I haven't really done a lot of planning for this one, so I'm not too sure what I want to do. We might bring our washi tape back and do some decoration on it, because yay, decoration. And we might do my favorite style of divider, because why not? My favorite style of divider is a dot and dash line. That's what I call it, effectively. We just need to find the center of the page first. So that's 6.5, and that is 9.5. Oh, wizardry. We're gonna put a little dot there. Cool. And we'll do the same on this side, so 6.5 to the middle, and 9.5 to the middle that way, and a little dot. Cool. So typically when I do a dot and dash line, I'll put a line between 2 individual dots on the dot grid, and then put a dot in the section next to it. I do not think I'm explaining this well. I will show you what I mean on a piece of paper. So I'll take like dash, dot, dash, dot, dash. So hopefully you can see that a little better. So in between these 2 grid points, I put a line, and then I'll put a dot between the next 2, and then a line, and then a dot, and then a line and a dot. For the one that I'm going to do here, because I want my dot to be in the very center of the page, I'm going to have to shift this by half a box, effectively. So that one's going to be a dot, and then a dash, and then a dot, and then a dash, and then a dot, kind of a thing. So instead of the dots being in the middle of the 2, the dot is actually on a grid dot, and then the line kind of goes halfway from one box into the next, if that kind of makes sense. Just because I want that dot to actually be in the middle. So I might go put my dots in first, because I know that I'm going to have dots every second one, because the lines will be in the middle of those. I might just put some dots out to the side as well, so I actually know where the middle is and don't have to remeasure. So, like we said, it's just a little bit of a way to add some visual interest to your page. We're still doing an 8-box weekly, it's still got those 8 boxes, but we're just making it a little bit special, a little bit creative, a little bit unique, adding some visual flair. I should record versions of me doing my background music without the background music and just use that in my video. It would be so bad. I would not watch that. Because it'd just maybe in the back be like twang a twang a twang, twang a dang a dang. There we go. So technically speaking, we could just do this as a dotted line the whole way through. I just want to use my lines because it's my favorite. We'll just do a line like that, and a line like this, and a line like that. The nice part about doing the lines the way that I usually do them is that there's a very clear starting and stopping point. This one's a little bit more like use the force. Like, try and make it look even, but it is what it is. Make for a good ringtone, yeah. Just me going twang a twang a twang, twang a dang a dang. I find myself doing that in everyday life, like especially my the song that starts my videos, because it's always the same one. It's always the same song that starts it. I find myself singing that in my everyday life. Do 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 do. It's probably because it's the one that I hear the most often, because regardless of how long my video is, the first song is always there. There we go, looking super cute. Now, for this one, I would like to add some decoration, and rather than doing the kind of like corners of the boxes thing that we did before, we're going to do the corners of the page. So like this page corner and that page corner. Let's see. Where did my washi tape go? Okay, found him. So I think what we're going to do here is that we're going to do a like proper corner kind of a thing. So tilt it a little bit possibly. No, we can leave it like that. And we'll just do about yay much. And rather than doing, oh, I don't want to waste it. Let's see. We'll cut this piece off and we'll have a look. Snip. Oh, I've got to go to work. Well, thank you for being here while you could be. So we're going to put this in this corner. We're going to need to rip it up along there. Might need to cut the corner just a little bit. There's a little bit. A bird flu outbreak. Ugh. This is not good. A proper corner. When I say a proper corner, I mean like a corner of the page, rather than the corner of a box, which is what we did on our first one. So this is like a box corner. A proper corner would be like the corner of the actual page itself. Some ripping. There we go. That sits in the corner very nicely. And then to get rid of that little edge that overlaps because the corners of the book are rounded, we're just going to use my Creative Memories corner rounder, which is effectively a punch that punches out the corner just to make it nice and smooth. We love that for us. For the other corner, I think rather than using this piece of washi tape, because it is very small, we're going to cut ourselves another one and do a similar kind of size piece, but up there. That is what we're going to do. So about the same size again, which is roughly to the flower, roughly. Cute. Put this guy back. I'm excited to be using this washi tape because I just really love it. But finding that color palette was tricky, so I haven't used it in my personal content planner yet. Now, this one here, we're going to try and rip it in such a way that we still get that nice large section at the top. So we might cut from this corner, possibly. And get it to kind of come down fairly abruptly, and then rip across like neat. Go. That looks cute. Ding. See, this is the one that I constantly sing along to by myself. Wait, no, it's not. Is it? I mean, I do sing along to this one. I think the one that I sing along to more often is actually one of the ones that I started on YouTube with, which I do not use in my videos anymore because people said it was distracting, which I mean, like, fair, because it was. But that's the one that I sing along to the most, but I can't remember what it was called. More like a rural stomp or something like that. I don't remember. Okay, we need to try and stick this down in a way that doesn't suck, please. That would be really super great. That looks fairly stuck the way that it should be. Fairly. She lied. It totally doesn't. It's so crooked. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh gosh. Sufficient? Nope. We're just sticking things down without actually planning things out here. It's not a good move. We're just going to push it closer to the edge, like closer than it actually needs to be, and we'll just trim the edge off. It's the safest way to go to make sure that we're actually on the edge. That looks cute. So you can see we do have a fair bit of overhang here because I was having some struggles. Just cut that off. Cute. And again, we'll just punch the corner out as well to make it nice and rounded back where it is supposed to be. Oh, the idea of not being able to find butter is scary. Like, we obviously had the flour shortage that I think everybody had, like, you know, ages ago, and that's just because people were buying up all the flour in bulk. But yeah, not a shortage of that nature. So, we have our sections. We have our 8 sections. Now, like we said, typically speaking, I would use this to have 7 spaces for each of the days of the week, like 1 for each day of the week, and then have a note section or a section where it's like a habit tracker or a mini calendar or like something like that. In this one, we're going to do something a little different because I know that some people do like to do this, and rather than having the weekend as separate days, you can have them together. Do we want to hazard trying to do kind of like a calligraphy thing? Let's see if I could get this to work. So an M would be like, which would be kind of messy, but like kind of cute. And then like kind of a thing for T, but I'm not very good at it. Like I could, but I don't know if I want to do that to myself right now. W, and like another T kind of thing. Because I'm not super good at it. T. And S would give me a real run for my money. I'm not very good at S's. Or we could just do like Monday, which would make the spread look super pretty. Let's have a look. Okay. These are going to be the days that are actually days, and these are going to be the ones that are something else. Yes, yes, yes. We could always do a little kind of calligraphy-esque header with the brush lettering kind of thing, and like the actual brush rather than the Crayola, so like a little bit like, which is now super flexible because of what we did before to it. Like Monday, and then like Tuesday, and E needed to come further over, but you guys get the idea. Wednesday, Wed. This is just Jess musing with what she wants to do here. Like, does she want to try her hand at this, or does she want to play it safe? I'm kind of tempted just to play it safe for the sake of easiness. Alrighty, we're gonna do that. So for our days of the week here, we are just going to go in with color. Green. I kind of want to use more of the green because I feel like I haven't used enough of it, and it's a pretty green. So we're going to do a strip of color, kind of like what we did on the other ones, but now they're actually in boxes. And we're just going to put it on the weekday ones. There we go. A little bit cattywampus, but that's okay. Go over the washi and then brush back. Cute. Okay. And for the headers on this, we're just gonna do a kind of like a little Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then weekend, because we have combined them for this one. There we go. So those would be our days of the week spaces. I'm wondering if I can use that yellow, because I mean, like, it is very yellow. I kind of wish I had this color, but like in the wider tip. That would make it for a nice little addition. But alas, we do not, and that is way too yellow. And I'm just wondering if I could like bring myself to use the terracotta. Yeah. You couldn't write that small no matter how hard you tried. Yeah. I've had practice, a lot of practice writing small. So that's usually how I write like the majority of my tasks. So it makes it a little easier. For these sections though, we're gonna do a kind of like little meal planning-esque like section up here possibly, and then we could do something else down there. Or should we do the meals down here? We'll do the meals down here. We're gonna need to measure up the space because I'm not actually too sure how much space I have. So we've got 7, yeah, 7 looks good there, and then we can just do like, we can do a little header here, but this header will do something different rather than the green, just to make it a little bit special. And we're gonna use the, I want to keep the green in here, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There we go. That was kind of cute, and then we can just have like meal plan. And then in this one here, we are going to do something else. Let's see, how much space do we have across here? So we've got 6 centimeters across, and we would use 3.5 for a mini calendar, or 4 if you go the whole way across. So we could put a mini calendar in if we wanted to, or we could just have a header that's like descriptive of the week. I think I might put a header in, that's probably good. Probably fit 2 words across in those boxes. Wow. Yes, I can write smaller than that. That's pretty big. But I mean, do you use a B5 or do you use an A5? Would also be a good question, because if you use a B5, obviously the spacing on this would be a little different. You'd have a bit more space to do things. We're going to pretend that this is for March something to something. This is going to be March 14 to 20 for no reason other than that's next week. March. And of course, if you want to make this style of writing a little bit more fancy as well, you can do the cursive over the top of it, like M-A-R-C-H 1 4 to 20. So if you're going to do it here, you should probably do it down here as well. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, if I had have pre-planned that, I probably would have also put it here, 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 and here, but I did not, so that's fine. It's alright that they're a little bit special. Maybe this could be a place for like weekly priorities or something like that. We'll put the weekly priorities in here. There we go. So again, hopefully you guys can see this is still an 8-box weekly, right? We've still just divided our page into those 8 separate boxes. It's just in doing this one, we have decided to use like dividing lines rather than actually drawing separate individual boxes out. Now, for our last one, we're gonna go back to a more simple style, but instead of doing like what we did on the first one with the washi tape across here, we're gonna just set them up a little bit differently. It's still gonna be an 8-box weekly, and it will be the last page that needs to be used in this journal. So flipping on over, for this one, we are going to start by drawing in some banners. And I like to put the banners in first because when I draw a banner, I like it to come a little bit out of the box so that it actually looks like it's sitting over the box. And you hopefully will be able to get what I mean once we draw them in. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna freehand the sides of the banners at the very least. And I just draw them a little bit separated, a little bit to the left of the dot grid, so that they sit just a little bit outside of where I'm gonna draw the edge of the box. And in this one, we're going to leave the 8th box open. We're gonna look at doing something else with that, possibly. Now I need to use my ruler here because I haven't actually measured up where this should go. So that's 6.5 and that's 7. You should be here. Again, just a little bit outside that box. And the reason I'm drawing the banners in first is that if I drew in the edges, 1, there's a good chance that I would extend the edge into where I want my little banner to be, and 2, I wouldn't necessarily stop in the right place and then I just have to go fix it up later and like, ugh, what a mess. So let's go draw in some banners. My banners are going to be 3.5 centimeters across, and I know I literally said I wasn't going to do this one. Like, I literally just said it, but I put it in, so it's still here. It's here to stay now for no reason other than the fact that it's here. Wah wah. It's fine. I ain't mad. She lied. I'm not. It's really not that bad. It's all good. Because at the end of the day, if you were making this for yourself and you don't want it there, you don't put it there. You want to use that space for something else, you can use it for whatever you want. It's all good. This is a very flexible system, which I honestly don't like it when people say like, oh, it's so flexible, it's so diverse. I'm like, yeah, no shit, it's literally an empty book. But it's kind of one of those like, it goes without saying kind of things, and that's probably why it annoys me so much. But I do also catch myself saying it, so I can be a hypocritical hater, right? That sounds like a perfect job for me. Hypocritical hater. Yeah, fuel is $3 a litre here, or over $3 a litre here, which is not great. Just because I see you guys are talking about fuel. 1, 2, 3.5. So when I say banners here, I'm just doing like a little kind of flag style banner, so it just kind of pokes over the edge of the page rather than a full-blown, like, I don't even know what banner. So it's just a cute little addition, something that makes it a little bit special, even though at the end of the day it is still just an 8-box weekly. There we go. Put in little diagonals, which of course you could rule, but I really don't feel the need to rule like one dot grid across. Can do that freehand. They wouldn't be quite as neat as they could be, but they are still going to be quicker at least. There we go. There we go. So those are our little flags, and technically speaking, like, you know, I said the idea, like, you can draw the boxes in, you can leave them open. You could just leave this open. It's still technically an 8-box weekly, you still have your 8 sections. I am going to go draw the boxes in because that's kind of the aesthetic I'm going for, but you don't have to. Now, in lining this up, you'll kind of hopefully start to be able to see what I mean by drawing them a little bit further across, and it's just so the flag actually looks like it wraps around from the back. If I just ruled straight down the side here, the flag wouldn't really look like it did that wrapping thing that I'm talking about. And I'm not talking like wrapping like rap battles of history here. I'm talking wrapping as in wrapping paper. If it wasn't explicitly obvious already. There we go. You can see like that little piece in here. Looks good. Again, she tries to line up on the corner here where the risk of slippage is ever present, but she's living dangerously. Just like commentate my journaling. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that like is already in existence? Is there somebody out there making like reels or TikToks or whatever of like commentating somebody's journal setup? Oh no, she's done it again. The ruler slipped from underneath her fingers. Oh, that's really gonna set her back, Mitch. Yeah, I know. Stuff like that. If there isn't, somebody should do that. I'd watch that. I think it'd be great. $6 a gallon. What the heck? I don't even know what a gallon is. I don't know. It's looking more and more likely that I'm gonna need an electric vehicle. Not that I can afford an electric vehicle, but yeah, I certainly cannot afford an electric vehicle. I get a push bike, but I don't think I'm ready for that level of commitment to my fitness just yet. It's a fair ride into town. It would not be a quick trip. Gallon is basically 4 liters. Oh, okay, well then 6 liters a gallon, that's only $1.50. But then again, that 6 is like US 6, so that's different. Because I'm like, $6 a gallon sounds great then, but that's also, yeah, US monies. Now I need to decide on whether I want to color in my little flags or not. Because I mean, technically speaking, something we could do would be like cover them with washi tape and then trim the washi tape back and have like little washi tape flags, which would be pretty cute. But I also don't know if I'm ready for that level of commitment this close to dinner time. What I also kind of like to do with my little chicky boys here is add a little drop shadow, just to, you know, again, add to that idea of them kind of wrapping around and sitting on top of the page. So although grey is not in our colour palette, I could use that gold colour. Gold Rush, again, doesn't look like gold, but that one might be the safest bet. So we might do a little drop shadow moment with that one, just to add to the overall aesthetic that we're going for here. There'll be some cute shit right there, cute shit right there. An electric scooter. Skeeter! Could do, but it would depend on how fast it goes, because if it doesn't go fast enough for the motorway, then I can't get to work. Oh no! Let's see. So chucking on our little drop shadow moment for these, I'm gonna do the underneath side here, and I'm gonna do the like full bottom line to make it just a little bit cute, just a little bit cute. Again, kind of trying to keep my arm steady while I do this to give us that kind of straightish line, and extending this over because I'm going with like a down and right kind of thing, so it does need to come all the way to the end to actually look more reasonable. So we have passed the halfway point in our school term, and I'm starting to get ridiculously excited about going to Melbourne in the April holidays. Go see my mom and dad. Be nice to see them, because it's been a hot minute. And last time I went to see them, I got stuck in Melbourne. It kind of soured the experience just a little bit. So, oh, for comparison, it's usually $3 to $4. Yeah, okay, that's quite a bit more. I can understand why that would be distressing. Okay, so we have our little flag banner things in. They're looking pretty cute. This one's a little bit like, whoa, but it's still overall looking pretty swish. I think I'm going to colour them in with our green, just because I like the idea of adding some colour to them. And another thing you could technically do just to add some dimension to the page is put a drop shadow on each of the boxes. I am not going to do that, but again, it's just another way that you can make this 8-box weekly a little more special, a little more unique, and a little more yours. I do quite like this subdued green. I think it's quite pretty. I was wondering if I want to colour every single one in. I think I'm going to, but could do it a little alternating moment. If we had another colour that we were playing with, like another pen. Nicely with the colouring in on the last two, and this one just is just like going rogue, just doing some weird stuff, like still kind of moving up and down, but certainly not as orderly as it was last time. Outside the lines a little bit, but that's okay. It's fine. So one of the things that we said about our boxes before is that you can leave them as open boxes, or you can like divide them into smaller sections to put other stuff in them. I'm not going to do that on these ones because we already kind of looked at how you could do that on a different one. But another thing you can actually do, I say actually as if it's like a big revelation, but we can do things like putting in some coloured lines to add some visual interest to those as well, so that your task list you can kind of very clearly see separate tasks, which is nice. You can add in a little kind of journaling section to your boxes. You could add in other little bits and pieces, trackers, and like little daily log bits, which is kind of cute. Let's see, what do we want to add to this one to make it special? I'm kind of thinking about that idea of the journaling section. We could just put in another little dash dotted line kind of thing to try and do that. Something just moved in my bin and it scared the heck out of me, and I was like, is Vogel lurking? No, it's just my bin being sneaky. There we go. Next minute I'll look over and there'll be like a mouse in there or something. I doubt it very, very much. But now I've said it, and now I'm like, what if there is one? Anyways, there's no mouse. Let's see. We're gonna put in the headers, and I think we're gonna do the little like serif kind of style that we were talking about before. I say we were talking about, we actually did it before. So just to add, again, some visual interest, make it look a little special, because we like it when they look a little special. It's just another way to add a little bit of special to the spread. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're a mouse. Oh, well, I hope you're not hiding in my bin. Because it would probably be a little bit snug. It's not a very big bin. Saturday. Wednesday. I would like to get a little bit better at doing these serif letters. Like, I'm not terrible at them, but I think I could neaten this bishop. Wednesday, Thursday. Sunday, and then notes, because we're just going to leave it as a note section. So you could use it as like a next week section as well, so a space to record anything that you need to remember for next week, or like transfer to your next weekly. Notes. Gorgeous. Do you journal in your bullet journal? I don't do a lot of like long form journaling, not so much, but sometimes I do like a 1 line a day kind of spread, sometimes, not very often. You know, I'm just gonna add in some bullets that could be used to write down some tasks and stuff. There we go. Looks kind of cute. Just adding some visual interest to the page. I have been considering starting a kind of like stream of consciousness journal. I think it's just because like lately I've had some things happen that have made me feel like I need a place to like, not dwell on them, but like kind of put my feelings down on paper so that I can kind of come to terms with how I feel about them. Haven't done that yet though, because I think it's one of those things that I feel like I'd do it for the scenarios and situations that I have been experiencing recently, and then not necessarily have to use it again in the future, so that I would like feel like I'd wasted a journal almost. But I have been tempted. I was kind of tempted to use one of maybe the little pocket journals for it, kind of A6-ish size, because I've got a couple of those, like from the September sub box last year and from the spring release, that's the one. but I have not gotten on to doing that for the reasons that I mentioned before. Yeah, like a little mini journaling box. Yeah, sometimes I'll add like a little note section, and then if there's something in particular on that week that I need to get out on paper, I'll use the notes section for it or something like that. But yeah, all right, it's looking pretty cute. So this is not straight though. We'll try and straighten it up, make ourselves look a little bit more presentable, please. So we have our 5th idea. Again, we're just going to ignore the fact that the S went a little bit cattywampus, but we have another 8-box weekly. So that idea of having the 8 boxes, 4 per page, that you can decorate in different ways. Now, my question of the day for you guys, which one of these did you like the best? We're going to go through them all, just in case you weren't here to see all of them. Or if you've forgotten, because we've been here for a hot minute. So our first one here was the 8 boxes where we decorated the corners with the washi tape, and we had that kind of like monoline little title. Again, remember these are just ideas. You can edit any of them to actually suit your needs. Our second one, instead of drawing out the full boxes, we kept it a lot more open. So we just have the bottom border of each of them. Our 8th box, rather than being a note section, is now a space for habits and has a little decorative element to it. And then these little circles here can be used for things like the day of the month, like is it the 6th or the 7th kind of a thing, or it could be a little weather icon that you put in, or something. In terms of our next one, we went back to drawing out the boxes, but for these, rather than bringing them all the way up to that center point or all the way up to the top, we dropped them down by 1 centimeter just so that we could put in these little wreaths to have our little decorative element there. And in each of these boxes, we separated a section out at the bottom so that we could record things like weather and mood and how many glasses of water you drank or something like that. And then on to our next one. In this one, rather than drawing out all the boxes in full, we just put in those dividing lines. So we have the dividing lines to show all of our different sections. We have a little meal plan section down here and a space for priorities. The reason we have 2 here is because we combined the weekend into that one box. And then onto our last one, back to the more traditional style of having those 8 boxes. So which one do we reckon? Which one was your favorite? I would love to hear about that, either in the chat if you're here on the live, or if you're on the replay. Wow, made it all the way through, good for you. I would love to know which one you liked the most. Otherwise, if you were just part of the squad that decided to stay till the end, I would love to see a green emoji in the comments. That would be fabulous. Right now though, I've been talking for too long, and I'm gonna go and get myself another Coke and some dinner. It was a pleasure hanging out with all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked today's video, give it a big thumbs up, and I will be back with another video on the weekend. Let's see if I can remember how to turn off a live. It's been a little bit, eh? Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.